Okay, good day everyone. Here is the group video presentation for Group 8. My name is Ma Mingzhi, the team leader of Group 8. Our research topic is Independence Square of Malaysia, and our lecturer is dear Miss Mashita. First, let me introduce our group members. The Group 8 have 9 members. First is me, Ma Mingzhi, the team leader, and next is the assistants of team leader, Zheng Yuanhan, and other team members Yu Muhua, Guang Taiqun, Jin Ge, Zhao Yankai, Xiong Ying, Zhou Yuqi, Zhang Yixiang. Almost all team members in our group are international students, but due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we cannot study in Malaysia or travel in Malaysia. We are very happy to learn about the historical background and the significance of Independence Square in Malaysia through this course. Our group video presentation are divided into 3 parts. The first part is introduction, next is the main content, and finally is conclusion. Okay, let's move to our first part, the introduction of Independence Square of Malaysia. Please enjoy our group video presentation.
The Padang was renamed Jakarta Merdeka or Merdeka Square in working 1989. It was done in conjunction with the Variety Malaysia year 1919. Campaign beginning January 1919 on 31 Ukistar Surrender Prime Minister Abdullah Ahmadi Badawi Shoulder Merdeka on midnight Salashers. Where Reynolds of bodies celebrate 15 years of Nethand. The predecessor of the square is the stadium. Cooked fruit, turnips, and rock bean have been held here. Later, the slag capacitors operated as wafter and tender into a magnificent square to commemorate the country's independence.
Hello, my name is Yu Muhua. I am from Group 8. Part of my presentation is Introduction of Merdeka Square. Our theme is Merdeka Square. Merdeka Square is undoubtedly KL's best-known landmark, also called Datra Merdeka. It is set in front of the Sultan Abiud Samad building, the former state secretariat. Directly in front is the Royal Selangor Club, and to the north is the St. Mary's Church, one of Malaya's oldest Anglican churches. On the midnight of the August 30, 1957, the British flag was lowered and the Malayan flag was raised for the first time at the Padang, and even watched by a large number of people there. In the morning of the August 31st, 1957, the ceremony for Malayan independence was then held at the Merdeka Stadium. So much for this. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Zheng Yuanhan. Thank you very much for the speeches of the Xiong Ying and the Ma Yuehua for giving us a brief introduction for the contents of the Independence Squares. Next, we will analyze the Independence Squares. We will also focus on the history program from the Independence Squares and the introduction. Interesting. Hello everyone, my name is Zheng Yuanhan. Thank you very much for the speech of the Xiongyin and the Ma Yuehua of giving us a brief introduction to the contents of the Independence Squares. Next, we will analyze this Independence Squares. We will also focus on the history programs and the interesting facts about this place. The reason for the choosing Independence Squares and the important and the benefits of the task, as well as the experience giving and the challenges faced in this completing this project. In next 3 videos, we will continue with these 3 experience separately.
The reason for choosing Independence Square and the importance and benefit of the task. Malaysia is a young country full of history. The changes of time have left many representative historical buildings on the land of Malaysia, such as the Dutch Red House in Malacca and the Blue House in Penang. Each building can represent a piece of history, has a very important meaning. Independence Square, as a landmark of Kuala Lumpur, has witnessed the process of Malaysia's progress toward independence. It's a historical building that cannot be ignored and is also one of the most important historical landmarks in Malaysia. At midnight on August 31, 1957, with the rest of the Malaysian flag, Malaysia moved from colonial rule to independence. Since then, Independence Square has also become a venue for the annual Independence Parades, represent the spirit of Malaysia and an indelible mark of history. In summary, Independence Square is highly representative in terms of historical significance and urban landmark, and has epoch-marking significance, which attracts us to conduct research. National independence has played a connected role in the history of Malaysia. The study of Independence Square can understand the important historical background of Malaysian independence in 1957 and deepen the understanding and study of Malaysia's model history by looking up the information and transferring the knowledge from the textbook to the real-life architecture. It can help us to deeply realize the independence spirit and joy of the Malaysian people. That's all for my presence. Thank you.
In the early days of Kuala Lumpur, the Chinese and Malay communities settled along the east bank of the Klang River. However, there wasn't many developments at the west of the river. In 1880, the state capital was transformed from Klang to Kuala Lumpur. The British resident William considered that the government organization should be far from the condition of the unhygienic environment and the possibility of insurrection from the locals. So the government office and new police headquarters were built on the Bukit Aman. The training ground for the police was then a swamp. 10 years later, in 1892, the acting British resident Ernest Birch, he started to smooth over the ground and so that it may be used as a cricket ground and for other sports. In 1987, the government offices and some emerging constructions such as a printing office, a town hall, the HMS Railway Office, and a general post office was built around the Padang. Many citizens took it as a place for many national and civic events. On the midnight of August 30 in 1957, the Malayan flag was first raised at the Padang, which was watched by numerous people there. In the morning next day, the ceremony for Malayan independence was held at the Merdeka Stadium. After a few years, the Padang was finally renamed Merdeka Square in the October of 1989. Nowadays, people celebrate special holidays such as the anniversary of Malaysia's independence at the Merdeka Square, and you would be able to catch the National Day parades that take place there every year. Merdeka Square also offers events including air concerts and carnivals almost all year round. It is totally an interesting spot for visitors.
I'm Jingge. I will introduce our experience and the challenges of completing this mission. Through this group activity, we learned about its historical background, architectural style, and the significance of Merdeka Square to Malaysia. There are independent squares in many cities in the world. These independent squares are of different sizes and built in different styles. Each has its own special meaning. It's a sacred place in everyone's heart and a place of admiration. In the Merdeka Square in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, it depicts traces of history, prints centuries of blood and tears, and sees through the wind and the frost of the years. It's a place where Malaysia celebrates the National Day every year. National independence is the most sacred moment in the long history of Malaysia. The people here look to the national flag and proudly rise with the song. Dating back to August 31st, 1957, the British flag was lowered for the last time in the historic place, and the Malaysian flag was raised here for the first time. The light of national independence shines on this country. Merdeka Square is unique. It sits opposite the Sultan Abdul Samad building. This square presents a modern style reflected in the traces of history. The challenge of this task is that we can't visit Merdeka Square in person. The information we searched and our feelings are all learned through the internet, which is also a pity. We hope that after COVID-19 is over, we can all visit and browse more culture and national and natural landscapes in Malaysia.
The attractiveness of the value of landmark building resources can greatly increase the visitor rate of foreign travelers. In Malaysia, Merdeka Square is one of the most famous landmarks in Kuala Lumpur. Merdeka Square is not only one of the largest squares in the world, but also has the highest flagpole in the world. It has been standing in the center of Kuala Lumpur for many years and have witnessed the independence of Malaysians. Each of our team members is studying hard in the content discussion and exchange. We have not only learned part of our own content, but also learned the content of other people in this group. This time, because of our teamwork, we have made progress and feel very rewarding.
Hi, I'm going to talk about two parts, group members' evaluation and insight into this group project. First, we had a total of 4 meetings in which everyone was very active. Everyone was able to express their opinions confidently. Our group leader especially was very careful to give his own proposal and summarize everyone's opinion each time. And secondly, due to the COVID-19, the team member could not communicate very well because we cannot face-to-face, which leads sometimes untimely response and waste a lot of time. And the whole group could not go to Independence Square to experience the local culture and history in person. We could only find secondhand in the internet, which is very pretty, and we all hope we can go there next time in person.